Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, we're going to practice AMI with AWS. So I can just go right there and just click launch on instance and give it a name. It's kind of slow, so just give it some time. So just give it a name, my web server. Now, by the way, before we create this, just go ahead and find and dig right there and find out what is AMI. So it's better that we know what AMI is instead of go and create one without actually know what AMI is. So what is AMI in AWS? So on Amazon Machine Image, AMI is used to create virtual servers. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud or EC2 instances in the Amazon Web Services, so AWS environment. So different type of instances can be launched from a single AMI to support the hardware of the host computer used for the instances. So what is the difference between EC2 and AMI? So the EC2 is used for creating the virtual server instance. The AMI, I'm sorry, I say instead, but it was server instance. The AMI is the AMI is the EC2 virtual machine image. ECS provides container services such as Docker, and the AWS Lambda is used to run the code without a server. So let's check here and see something. So Amazon Machine Image. So on Amazon Machine Image, AMI is supported and maintained image provided by AWS that provides the information required to launch an instance. You must specify an AMI when you launch an instance. You can launch multiple instances from a single AMI when you require multiple instances with the same configuration. You can use different AMIs to launch instances when you require instances with different configuration. An AMI includes the following: one or more Amazon Elastic Block Store, EBS snapshots, or for instance store-backed AMI, a template for root volume of the instance. For example, an operating system, an application server, and applications. Launch permissions that control which AWS account can use the AMI to launch instances. A block device mapping that specifies the volume to attach to the instance when it's launched. So Amazon Machine Image AMI topic. So use an AMI, create your own AMI, buy whatever. So use an AMI. Just explain this. Create an AMI, buy, share, and sell AMI. Deregister your AMI. Amazon Linux 2 and AMI, Linux AMI, and all of this. Now, by the way, let's just go ahead and launch our instance and do our demo with AMI today. So you could either select Amazon Linux, AWS, scroll down, let's choose a keeper. You could create one or choose an existing one. Now down here for network settings, you could select select an existing security group. I will scroll down and find one. Okay, this one here. My web server group. I like to choose this one. Let's see. What do we have on this one? And now with this, I would scroll here and go all the way down. When I get here, I will go ahead and just Command Z, Command Z. Let's put that back here. I will copy the whole thing except the last line, and I will switch back. Come on. I will paste it here. Let's go ahead and now what that is that it's a code. It's a code that's gonna. So what that is that it's a code. So the first line to the fourth line, we actually install the HTTPD, which is the Apache web server. So in the last line here, we create an index file, but right now we're not gonna use the last line here. We want to do everything, but that to create an AMI out of it. So let's just go back here and let's launch our instances. Let's go on review. I want to check here and see on the security group something here real quick on the security group of this security group here and see something, because I don't want to see what are the rules that we have. So we do have HTTP and and SSH as port from any, so we good. Let's go back into our instance. It says it's running. Select it. Let's refresh to be on the safe side. As we just launched this instance, we want to make sure that we have everything that we need. Let's click on instance, select it. Let's copy the public IP address. Let's open a new browser and let's paste this and hit enter. It says it's not safe. We are seeing this warning because this site does not support HTTPS. I don't mind. So, okay, so we have a message display that it works. So now let's just switch back into our instances. As we select this, the instance, now we're gonna go ahead and copy. We're gonna go ahead and copy this AMI. We're gonna go ahead and copy. So if we select this and we right click, and we will go to where it says image and template, and then right there we're gonna we're gonna click on create an AMI. You see there's an option over here that says create template from instances. and launch more like this. So we can make this, let's call this my web server, my web server we will call this my web server from AMI. I can give it a description of demo dash AMI. I can enable reboot, no reboot. Or I could leave it as default. It looks like the size is okay. Everything else look okay. I could tag an image and stash it separately. But this one here is already being selected by default, which tag image and snapshot together. I think this is okay. So let me go ahead and just create the AMI. Now that my AMI has been created, it says currently creating AMI, ding, ding, ding. So again, now that my AMI is being created, let me go ahead and launch on an instance and show you the beauty of that. I can call this my web server 2 and check me out. Now, instead of select on, the Amazon Linux 2, Amazon Linux AWS, I will click on my AMI and as you see here, so owned by me. So that's the AMI we created, right? And there's a share with me option, which we don't need. You could browse for more AMI if you want to. Now let's just go ahead and scroll down. Now, as we get down here, hold up. We're gonna select, oh, sorry. We can't bypass the key pair because it's another image that we created. It's just that it's another EC2 that we created, with the difference that instead of choosing a recent one, a recent image, we'd rather choose it from the current AMI that we have created. So my web server from AMI, that's the name that we give it. So let's just scroll and select the key pair. Let's go to select a new existing security group. Now, if you want to, you could create one. Now let's scroll down into advanced detail. Let's scroll all the way down. I'm going to paste the same code. Oh, sorry. Let me switch. Now, at this time, check me out. I'm going to go ahead and just copy the last three pages, the last three line of code and just switch back here and paste it. But at this time, I will again copy this line of code to the last line of code too as well, and I will paste it down here. It looks like everything looks okay. Let me just double check to make sure. Oh, just double check here. So it's echo, oh, sorry. So it's echo. So echo, let's make this bigger. Can we please make this bigger? Does it look like we can? So it's echo and it's H1. Quotation H1. She's just an HTML display. hypertext. This is my first, I would call this is my EC2. This is my EC2. This is my EC2 web server from AMI AWS. Okay, now I close this and I close the quotation. Sorry. Quotation mark. I space this a little bit. Let me see. Oh, sorry. So I space this a little bit and I close that. Just gotta get a space. And I have var / www w3 / HTML / that index.html. It looks okay to me. Let's launch our instances. Now let's scroll down, view all instances. It says it's pending. So let's go ahead and just refresh. It's pending. Give it some time. You gotta wait until this is completely have its state as what? So, okay, so it says it's running. I wouldn't trust it too much. Now, if you notice that the AMI is on a different availability zone, so we have US East 1B and US East 1A. It's the it's the status checking is initializing. Let's go here. We have the public IP address and the DNS. There goes public IP address. You could copy it from here, but you have option though. You have options. So as you can tell, as I just copy this, it's displayed this here. This is pretty user friendly. I appreciate it for that. You could also go here and copy your own public IP address if you would like. Now let's see what we have as I scroll. So this is my web server. That's the security group, so it's the same name. Launch time. And the name is my web server 2, and this one is my web server 1. So I think this is the status is initializing still. Just refresh it. And let's go on instance. And okay, so I'm sure this should be ready by now. Let's just copy this and go here and paste this. So what do we got? All right. This is my EC2 web server from AMI AWS. And that's what we configured this with. So basically, I take that set, it's just show you the beauty of AMI, what you can do with that. So if I were to back here and Google and just see if we could answer a couple. What does AMI mean? We know that already. What are two types of AMI? I think that might be interesting. So AMI is divided into two categories: EBS backed instance and instance store backed instance. What does AMI means? Amazon. So we have that already. Is AMI store in S3? That could be an interesting question. So with Amazon EC2 instance store backed AMI, Each time you customize an AMI and create a new one, all of the parts are stored in Amazon S3 from each AMI. So it's the maximum size of AMI. Show activity on this post. AMI name must be between 3 to 128 character long. Size of AMI. Is AMI a container image? Docker is an open source platform. An AMI is an image. Docker containers are lighter than AMIs. Developers can transform Docker containers between providers easily. Does creating an AMI stop an instance? No. Amazon EC2 automatically shut down the instance. Take a snapshot of any volume attached, create and registered AMI, and then reboot the instance. Optionally, no reboot can be created to prevent the instance from shutdown. What is 80% of AMI means? Translating income into affordable housing cost. These, not sure what that. Where are AMI stored in AWS? How many types of AMI are provided in AWS? We did this already. So guys, thank you so very much for following along. Stay tuned for another lab configuration. By the way, let me just take a last look on this. It's basically what we've read before. It doesn't look like there's anything about AMI that we didn't cover here. Of course, there's still more room to learn. But by the way, that was the demo about AMI. So let's make sure that we terminate those AMIs if we don't need them. Go ahead and terminate this. So stay tuned for another lab configuration. I'll see you soon.